You are watching Area DMG.
Welcome back to Area DMG. I'm your host, Phil Wesley, the Mile High Mouth, and today we're going to take a look at the new 3DS family of systems. In short, we're going to be talking a little bit about the new 3DS and the new 3DS XL. Now, I know people are like, but isn't that the same family as the 3DS and the 2DS? No, actually, while the new 3DS shares some similarities to the original 3DS, its differences kind of make it a new system, similar to the way that the DSi family of systems, the DSi and the DSi XL, are different from the DS, or the Game Boy Color is different from the Game Boy. The new Nintendo 3DS XL has its own exclusives, it has its own brand new features, and, well, I have a quick spec list actually. The new 3DS and the new 3DS XL both feature an ARM11 CPU, which actually has 4 times MP cores, 4 times VPF v2 coprocessors, and has a new max clock speed of 804 MHz. In comparison, the original 3DS had a 2 times MP core, 2 times VFP v2 core, and a coprocessor that clocked out at 268 MHz. In other words, the CPU on the new 3DS XL is literally like 4 times stronger than the approximately 4 times stronger than the original 3DS. The ARM9 CPU was not changed. That's just an ARM9 946 at 134 MHz. The GPU, the DMP Pika, at 268 MHz also did not change. The visual RAM or VRAM, video RAM? I'm not sure. VRAM on this, or versatile RAM on this, got changed from 6 MB on the original 3DS to 10 megabytes for the new 3DS, meaning that you can fit better textures. You can pretty much run stuff faster, reduce loading times, etc., etc. The thing is, there are issues with, like, say, Super Nintendo emulation on the original 3DS, which are not present on the new 3DS, and that's why they added Virtual Console to it. Also, the new 3DS can properly support Unity 3D almost natively. Anyways, its DSP is a CEVA Teak Light at 134 MHz with 24 channel 32,720 Hz sampling rates, and the system memory was upgraded from 128 megabits on the original 3DS to 256 megabits for the new 3DS. These were both released in October of 2014 in Japan, and they were released, both of them, November 21st, 2014 in Australia. In Europe, the new 3DS was released on January 6, 2015 for, quote, ambassadors in Europe, and then the XL version and a non-ambassador version of the new 3DS were released on February 13, 2015. In the United States, only the new 3DS XL was released in the United States on February 2015. We didn't get the white ones until the Happy Home Designer Animal Crossing bundle on September 25th, 2015. So yeah, that's a little bit about the release date for those. Let's get into the features and items about these. Now, before we go any further, let's address a little bit of the controversy. Now, there is a bit of an issue with the new 3DS and the new 3DS XL, and it has to do with production. Most of these, like the initial shipments, like for example for the new 3DS XL, were shipped with a top IPS screen, which they used to list in their specifications, and then a bottom TN screen. Later on, there are bottom IPS screens with top TN screens, dual TN screens, or dual IPS screens. There's a lot of weird mixture between the releases for those. Generally, you can kind of tell what's an IPS screen or what's a TN screen by just looking at it from the side. Like this one here on the bottom has a TN screen and then a top IPS screen. The resolution is the same as the original 3DS, which would be, I think, 400 by 240 or 800 by 240. Anywho, we've got two new 3DS units here, and I grabbed them because specifically this one here is dual TN and this one over here is dual IPS. As you can see, the color just straight on is more washed out on the TN screen, new 3DS. The black one's TN screen, the white one is an IPS screen. Now, let's talk about the physical differences and additions. Aside from the addition of more horsepower, the new 3DS XL and the new 3DS both add ZR and ZL buttons to it. These little additional buttons make up essentially kind of like the Circle Pad Pro. They add additional buttons to it. And there's also the addition of a C-stick. This C-stick allows you to move stuff around in many different directions, and it works as a camera stick in many games. It's a little bit like the little nubs that used to be in laptops. But yeah, that's an addition to it. Also, style-wise, the new 3DS, they've gone back to kind of the old Super Nintendo typing, rather Super Famicom typing. There are some versions of the new 3DS XL that have these colored buttons, but generally the new 3DS, rather smaller ones, have those as a bit of a tribute to the Super Famicom, which is kind of nice. Other things, they changed the direction of, they put the audio jack in the middle instead of on the sides like it is on the 3DS XL or the it's closer, it's in the middle, which is closer to the original 3DS. They also changed where the stylus is, and it's not a retractable stylus. They moved the stylus. Originally on the original 3DS, the stylus is on the top. On the 3DS XL and 2DS, it's on the side. On the new 3DS and the new 3DS XL, it is on the bottom. The basic idea between these is that the new 3DS is a larger device, and the new 3DS XL is a larger device and gives you that screen option. And the new 3DS has the addition of faceplates. You can actually, you do need a screwdriver to take the back faceplate off, where you can also access an SD card. It uses micro SD cards instead of normal sized SD cards, and they are located behind the back plating. And in order to get to that, you need a 0, 0 screwdriver. Let me go ahead and focus that real quick. Yeah, you need a 0, 0 brand screwdriver to get to the backing of that. And once you've loosened it, you can actually pry those off with, weirdly enough, the head of the stylus. What's kind of interesting is that there are additional faceplates that you can buy for the new 3DS. You can just lift that on that. I know they always make that weird sound, but yeah, a lot of the other information's back here, and you can replace those with new faceplates, and there are a bunch of different designs. You can mix and match the faceplates, which is kind of a nice additional feature. Aside from the improved processing power and the new types of screens, the faceplates, and the extra buttons, they also have a built-in NFC reader, which allows you in mini games to use amiibo toys. Amiibo are NFC sculptures and such released by Nintendo that do stuff in different games. The NFC reader is right on the bottom screen, so you can, in games like Super Smash Brothers or Style Savvy or Yoshi's Woolly World or whatnot, or Hyrule Warriors, Xenoblade Chronicles, etc., you can use those by just holding the amiibo above it. Of course, in its actual menu. One more thing that the system does, a lot of these do not ship with a power adapter, but you can use the same power adapter and the same power adapter end that came with the Nintendo 3DS, the Nintendo 3DS XL, the 2DS, the DSi, and the DSi XL. There are also several different types of games you can use with it. As long as you're in the same region, these types of games will work. Original DS games, the ones starting with NTR, will work. DSi games, ones starting with the DSi and DS games, will work as long as they're the right region, and those are TWL games. And DSi exclusive games like System Flaw will work. 3DS games will work. That's like TWL, CTR, and there are new 3DS exclusive games that start with a KTR. There are a lot of exclusive games for the new 3DS on the Nintendo eShop. However, the physical releases for those have been a little sparing, except for this year. We have Xenoblade Chronicles, which is the first physical release that was new 3DS exclusive in the United States. We will have Runbow Pocket will be the next one, and then Fire Emblem Warriors sometime this Christmas, and there are several unannounced new 3DS exclusives that Nintendo has kind of hinted at but has not announced. So we'll be interested to see what comes of that. It looks that because the Nintendo Switch is coming out, a lot of people thought that the Nintendo 3DS would be kind of abandoned, considering these are at a price point lower than the Switch and have a larger user base. Nintendo has said that they want to support the new 3DS until about 2018, which, if they just focus on new 3DS exclusive titles and phase out the 2DS in favor of the smaller new 3DS, I can kind of see them making that work. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with the new 3DS. I feel that the version that came out here with the faceplates and all this, it feels like the device that the original 3DS should have been. Also, they changed where the slot is. The slot for game cards is right here on the bottom, instead of on the top where it used to be on other systems. And yeah, that's just a quick overview of the 3DS. It works with the majority of the accessories for the original DS, 3DS, including like the stands and such. And it's a pretty good little system. Aside from the enhancements in the power of the system and the additional buttons and features, it's a good upgrade from the original 3DS or the original 3DS XL or the 2DS. What do you think of the new 3DS family of devices? Did you pick up a new 3DS XL? What color did you get? Did you pick up a new 3DS? What faceplates do you have for it? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Share this if you haven't already. And make sure that you join the notification squad by hitting that bell so that you are notified whenever we have a brand new video. And until the next video comes out, you are now caught up. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention about the new 3DS family of devices. And that would be actually this right here. They all feature what they call Super Stable 3D, which is actually helped along by the IPS screens, but there's a little infrared tracking camera right here that pretty much detects where your face is located, and it adjusts the 3D angle to match accordingly. I think if we turn it on, you'll be able to see it on... Yeah, let's turn this off and see if you can see it. See that little pink light? That right there is the infrared camera looking for faces. It looks for faces because it eats them. Actually, it does not eat them. The Nintendo 3DS, the new 3DS, does not eat faces. Although faces are delicious. Anyways, just almost forgot to mention that. Please stick around after this little addendum for lots of images comparing and talking about other features and stuff, or rather comparisons and specs for the new Nintendo 3DS and the new Nintendo 3DS XL. But yeah, almost forgot to mention those. Because seriously, it's not the main selling point for me. The main selling point for me was the enhanced power of the system, and the extra buttons, and the fact that they were going to have exclusive games for it. Those are my selling points. But Super Stable 3D is pretty good if you're a person who really likes the 3D feature. So, yeah, there you go.
I want my money. Anybody else with me? I want my money.